Hi po, I'm Sir Jadroli Magana, your reporter for today, and my topic is all about bonds and share capital. So medyo komplikado na po itong ating mga topics na pinag-uusapan. Di tulad ng mga naunang topics na minsan parang madali. So simulan natin sa bonds. Pag sinabing bonds, ano ba yung pumapasok sa isip natin? Usually, sa ating mga teacher especially, common pag sinabing bonds. Eto, pero hindi ito yun eh. Kasi bond paper ito. So ano nga ba yung bond? Sometimes naman, ito, hindi pa rin yan. Kasi James Bond yan. Pero ano ba yung pinag-usapan nating bond? So ito yung bonds. When we say bond, a bond is an interest-bearing security that obligates the issuer to pay the bondholder a specific sum of money. Usually, to pay the bondholder a specific specific of money usually at specific intervals known as a coupon or may coupon or the dividend, and to repay the principal amount of the loan at maturity. Ang hirap intindihin, especially kung sa mga hindi naman talaga beginner pa lang, di ba? So, let me share a story para mas madali siyang mas maunawaan or pasukin natin yung mundo ni Vance para ano nga ba ito si Vance at paano natin to mapapakinabangan or paano natin siya magagamit. Madali lang, I'll share this.
So bibigyan ko muna kayo ng short introduction kung ano ba yung ano ba talaga yung bonds. So let's say yung company A, no, si company A gustong magtayo ng condominium. So to raise money for the construction of the condominium, so she offered bonds, okay? And then si Mr. X, okay, si Mr. X as a bondholder, so kukuha siya o magpapahiram siya ngayon ng pera kay company A with a face value, yung bonds with a face value ng 500,000 pesos na may time of maturity na 10 years. And then the coupon rate is 5%. So pag sinabi nating coupon rate, that is the interest na marireceive ni Mr. X kay company A. So habang during the purchase date or during the purchase date and then the market the maturity date, si Mr. X ay makaka-receive ng 5% ng face value, which is 25,000 every year. So since if this is annually, so every year or once a year makaka-receive si Mr. X ng 25,000 mula kay company A. And then pagdating naman ng maturity date, ibabalik ngayon ni company A yung 500,000 ni Mr. X. So yan ang kaibahan ng bond sa stocks, kasi si stocks as investor or ang tawag sa kanila shareholders or stockholders, bumibili sila ng share ng company and then meron na silang they are now the owner, so meron na silang ownership dun sa company. Hindi kagaya sa bonds, no? Parang magpapahiram ka ng pera at dun sa pinahiram mong pera, may certain term na may agreement kayo with the company na hanggang ilang taon lang. And then, yung pera mo tutubo about depende dun sa coupon rate. Okay? So, yan ang pagkakaiba ng bonds sa stocks. Again, pag stocks, bumibili ka ng shares, dito naman sa bonds, nagpapahiram ka ng pera. Alright? So, ito yung ibang terms in relations to bonds. So, this is in relation to bonds. So, again, bond is the interest-bearing security which promises to pay, kung saan it is stated amount of money on the maturity date and it is a regular interest payment called coupon. So, yan yung sinasabi ko kanina, no? Yan yung marireceive mo aside doon sa face value or sa amount ng face value. Coupon is the periodic interest payment that the bondholder receives during the time between purchase date and the maturity date. Usually, it receives semi-annually. So, dito sa Philippine settings, so, twice a year, makaka-receive. Coupon rate is the rate per coupon payment period denoted by R. Price of a bond, the price of the bond at purchase time denoted by P. The par value or the face value, this is the amount payable or the maturity date denoted by F. So remember, so kapag yung price of a bond is equal sa face value, the bond is purchased at par value. At kapag yung price of a bond naman less than sa face value, so the bond is purchased at a discount. At kapag yung price of a bond naman is greater than sa face value, the bond is purchased at premium. Also, the term of a bond, it's a fixed period of time in years at which the bond is redeemable as stated in the bond certificate. It's a number of years from time of purchase to maturity date. The fair price bond is the present value of all cash inflows to the bondholder. So, ito yung mga different terms, no, in relation to bonds. Okay, for example, determine the amount of the semi-annual coupon for a bond with a face value of 300,000 pesos that pays 10% payable semi-annually for its coupons. So, the given, we have the face value that is 300,000 pesos, the coupon rate that is 10%, and we need to find the amount of the semi-annual coupon. So, first, kunin muna natin yung kung magkano yung annual coupon amount. So, that is 300,000 times the 10%, which is the coupon rate. So, 300,000 times 0.10, the answer is 30,000. So, ibig sabihin, yung annual coupon amount niya ay 30,000. Since yung kinukuha natin is payable for semi-annually, so, i-divide natin by 2 yung 30,000. And that is 15,000. Therefore, the amount of the semi-annual coupon is 15,000 pesos. Note that the coupon rate is used only for computing the coupon amount. Remember, it is usually paid semi-annually. It is not the rate at which money grows. Instead, current market conditions are reflected by the market rate and is used to compute the present value of the future payments. So remember that again, that the coupon rate is used only for computing the coupon amount usually paid semi-annually. So another example, suppose that a bond has a face value of 100,000 pesos and its maturity date is 10 years from now. The coupon rate is 5% payable semi-annually. Find the fair price of this bond, assuming that the annual market rate is 4%. So, the given are, the coupon rate is 5%, which is payable semi-annually. And the face value, the amount of the face value is 100,000 pesos. The time of maturity is 10 years. The number of periods is 20. Why? Okay, since payable for semi-annually and then for 10 years. So, times 10, that is 20 periods. So, ibig sabihin nun, 20 times siyang makaka-receive ng 5% of the 100,000 pesos. So, and the market value, the annual market value is 4%. And kunin natin yung amount of semi-annual coupon. Since meron tayong 100,000 and that is payable for semi-annual. So, twice a year. So, 0.5 divide 2 times 100,000, that is 2,500. Ibig sabihin, class, twice a year makaka-receive siya ng 2,500. So, sa loob, ilang beses siya makaka-receive ng 2,500? 20 times. Therefore, the bondholder receives 20 payments of 2,500 pesos each and the 100,000 pesos at T is equal to 10. So, this is 10 years. So, yan, ganyan yung in-explain ko kanina sa unang slide. No? Aside from the face value, so makaka-receive ka. So, ibig sabihin yung pera na pinahiram mo, kikita yon, no? Kikita pa yon. Yung tinatawag nating interest. Depende din sa coupon rate. So, since ang kukunin natin dito is the fair price, okay? So, the fair price of this bond, so kunin natin yung present value nung 100,000. So, using the formula, F over 1 plus I raised to N. So, substitute lang natin dito sa formula. So, yung I natin dito is, so ano ba yung rate natin? That is 0.05 over 1. So, that is, again, so yung interest rate natin dito, so yung M natin dito, since dito pala tayo, present value of 100,000, so the annual market rate is 4%, kaya 0.04, and that is annual, so yung M natin dito is 1. So yung R natin is 0.04, divide 1, so still 0.04, raised to O, 10, so that is 10 years, no? M is 1, and then yung T natin is 10, so 1 times 10, kaya 10. Then, use your scientific calculator to compute the present value of 100,000. So, the answer is 67,556.42. Ito yung present value sa 100,000. Ngayon, kunin natin yung present value ng 20 payments for every 2,500. So, using the formula, so kailangan natin kunin yung equivalent rate. So, yun muna ang gagawin natin. Kunin natin yung equivalent rate ng 4% to semi-annual rate. Okay, yun ang gagawin natin. So, on our previous video lesson, ginamit na natin yung formula na to. So, yung M sub 2 natin dyan is yung 1. That is the 4%. And yung M sub 1 natin is that the 5%. So, tingnan natin. So, again, so ang M sub 2 pala natin is the frequency conversion, kung saan that is the annual, no? Annual, kaya 1 lang yung M sub 2 natin. Yung M sub 1 naman natin, that is semi-annually, so kaya 2. So, substitute lang natin sa formula natin, that is 1 plus 0.04 divide 1 raised to 1 half minus 1. And then, use your scientific calculator. The answer is 0.0198039. So, kagaya nga ng sinasabi ko sa inyo, pag kukunin yung interest rate or yung equivalent rate, dapat 8 decimal places lagi para safe tayo dun sa final answer natin. So, since ang kasunod dito, kapag yung mamit ka ng scientific calculator 0, so hindi ko na nilagay. And to solve the present value of 20 payments, so we can use this formula. So, the regular payment na 2,500 times 1 minus 1 plus the value of I raised to negative 20. So, this is the value of N, 20 periods, no? Over the value of I, use your scientific calculator. So, the present value of 20 payments of 2,500 pesos each is 40,956.05. So, kung kukunin natin yung fair price of this bond, so add lang natin yung dalawa. And that is 67,556.42 plus 40,956.05 is equal to 108,512.47. So, thus, the price of 108,512.14 is equivalent to all future payments assuming an annual market is 4%. Stocks are shares in the ownership of the company. So, ang tatandaan lang natin, it's all about shares. So, let's say si Company A, merong 100 shares. And then, bibili ka ng isang share from the 100 shares. So, ibig sabihin, pag-aari mo na yung 1%, no? 1% nung company. So, ibig sabihin, yung tawag sa'yo kapag bumibili ka ng stock, it's stockholders or shareholders. So, pag sinabi nating stocks, ibig sabihin class, ito ay it's like equity financing kung saan it's about raising money by allowing the investor to be part owners of the company. So, yan po yung stocks. So, meron tayong dalawang klase ng stocks. So, that is the common stocks and then the preferred stocks. So, both of them, no, both of the two types of the stocks will receive dividends or share of earnings. So, kung ikaw ay yung investor and then bibili ka ng shares sa isang company or isang institutions, so, bibigyan ka ng certificates with corporation's name, owner's number of shares, and par value per share. So, yan ang ibibigay sa'yo. Again, pag sinabi nating stocks, so kung ikaw yung investor, bibili ka ng share sa isang company. Okay? So, nakadepende yung kikitain mo sa kita ng company kasi i-divide yung buong kita ng company sa lahat ng shareholders. So, like for example, okay, ito yung mga different terminologies na may encounter nyo all about stocks. So, again, stocks is the share, the ownership of the company. Dividend, that is the share in the company profit. So, ito yung tinatawag nating kita o ito yung tawag sa matatanggap mo or let's say that is a profit, no? Dividend per share, so this is a ratio of the dividends to the number of shares. Stock markets, this is a place where stocks can be bought or sold. So the stock market in the Philippines is governed by the Philippine Stock Exchange. So isipin mo na lang na nasa palengke, no? Ito yung kung saan yung lugar na pwede kang bumili at magbenta. So that is the stock market. So it's a place kung saan nakakabili ka o makakabenta ka ng stocks. Market value, the current price of a stock in which it can be sold. So like for example, no, in a public market, 'di ba? Mayroon tayong sinusunod na what we call for the anong tawag natin sa mga, di ba sa public market may tinatawag tayong suggested retail price. So parang kagaya ng market value. Stock yield ratio, so ratio of the annual dividend per share and the market value per share. It also called the current stock yield. And then yung may tinatawag tayong par value, so this is the per share amount as stated on the company certificate. So makikita ito dapat sa certificate kung ikaw ay investor. Unlike market value, it is determined by the company and remains stable over time. So again, pag sinabi nating par value, this is the per share amount as stated on the company certificate. So this is a sample of stock certificate. So kinuha ko lang to sa net. So nilagay ko dito. So this is a sample of stock certificate. So dito makikita nyo yung certificate number. So makikita nyo yung certificate number. And then dito makikita natin yung number of shares. So halimbawa sa company A, merong 1,000 shares. So dito natin makikita. And also makikita natin yung name ng corporations. So yung name ng corporation kung saan ka nag-invest or bumili ng shares. And yung pangalan mo, yung pangalan ng shareholders or yung stockholders. At kung magkano, kung ilang shares yung meron ka. So, ang wala lang dito, yung hindi nakalagay sa certificate nito, yung par value of each share. So, dapat nakalagay dito. So, wala akong makita, no, na malinaw. Since naghanap ako, wala akong makita na nakalagay yung par value of each share. So, dapat nakalagay dito. And then, dito sa baba, nakalagay dito yung signature. So, nakalagay yung signature of the corporation. No, nakalagay dito sa baba. So, ito yung sample lang, no, ng stock certificate. So, makikita mo dyan ulit yung certificate number, yung number ng number of shares, yung name ng corporation, at yung name ng shareholders, at yung bilang, no, kung ilang yung shares ng shareholders, at yung signature ng corporation. For example, we have a certain financial institution declared a 30 million dividend for the common stocks. If there are a total of 700,000 shares of common stocks, how much is the dividend per share? So, kung analyze natin yung problem, so madali lang natin sagutin, no? Kasi i-divide lang natin yung 30 million na dividend, hati-hatiin natin sa 700 shares. So, yun yung given natin. The total dividend is 30 million and then the number of shares is 700,000. So, para makuha natin kung magkano yung matatanggap, kung pagkano yung hatian per share, so, ang gagawin lang natin, i-divide lang natin yung total dividend sa total shares. So, 30 million divided by 700,000, that is 42.86 pesos. So, ibig sabihin, sa bawat share, katumbas nito ay 42 pesos and 86 centavos. So, therefore, the dividend per share is 42.86. For example, number 2, a certain corporation declared a 3% dividend on a stock with a par value of 500 pesos. Mrs. Lingan owned 200 shares of stocks with par value of 500 pesos. How much is the dividend she received? So again, pag sinabi nating par value, that is the share amount as stated on the company certificate. So, ang sabi dito, so magkano ang makukuha ni Mrs. Lingan na meron siyang 200 shares. So, ang amount ng par value is 500 pesos o 3%. So, tingnan natin. So, ang given natin is the dividend percentage natin is 3% and the par value is 500 pesos. The number of shares is 200. So, paano natin kukunin yung total amount na marireceive ni Mrs. Lingan? So, kunin natin muna yung dividend. So, the dividend per share is 500. So, the par value is 500 pesos times the dividend percentage. And that is 500 times 0.03 and that is 15 pesos. So, ibig sabihin, yung amount o yung value ng isang share ay 15 pesos. Since meron siyang 200 shares, so times 15, si Mrs. Lingan makakatanggap ng 3,000 pesos. Or, we can use this formula, the dividend percentage times the par value times the number of shares is also equal to 3,000. So again, so ang matatanggap o yung dividend na matatanggap ni Mrs. Lingan for her 200 shares ay 3,000 pesos. Another, Corporation A with a current market value of 52 pesos gave a dividend of 8 pesos per share for its common stock. And Company B with a current market value of 95 pesos gave a dividend of 12 pesos per share. So use the stock yield ratio to measure how much dividend shareholders are getting in relation to the amount invested. So, isa-isahin natin kunin, no, yung dividend para makuha natin kung sino yung mas may magandang offer, si Corporation A or si Corporation B. So, for Corporation A, so ano yung mga given niya? So the dividend per share is 8 pesos with a market value na 52 pesos. So, gagamitin natin yung stock yield ratio to measure kung magkano yung dividends, kung magkano yung amount no, ng dividend shareholders para makita natin yung amount invested. Okay? So, ang gagawin lang natin dyan, i-divide lang natin yung dividend per share divided by the market value. So, that is 8 over 52 and that is 0.1538. So, kailangan natin i-convert into percent and that is 15.38%. So, yan yung kay Corporation A. Kay Corporation B naman, so the dividend per share is 12 pesos with a market value of 95 pesos. So, same process. So, kunin natin yung stock yield ratio nito. That is 12 divide 95 and that is 0.1263 or 12.63%. So, ibig sabihin nito class, ibig sabihin, Corporation A has a higher stock yield ratio than Corporation B. So, thus, each peso will earn you more if you invest in Corporation A than in Corporation B. So, if all other things are equal, it is wiser to invest in Corporation A.
So, dun po nagtatapos yung kunting lesson na nakuha ko para sa topic ko na valuing shares, stocks, and bonds. So, sana po ay may natutunan tayo and maraming salamat sa inyong pakikinig and chat na lang po tayo or message me kung may mga katanungan po or may mga gusto pang linawin at sama-sama po tayo matuto sa subject natin ito. So, muli po, maraming salamat. Bye-bye.